I'm Kayla. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time joining us, and welcome back if it's not your first time joining us. I am a biblical naturopathic doctor with Sozo Holistic Healing, whatever that is, and where we help families to be saved, healed, and made whole.
Made whole. Made whole.
Nobody's gonna hear anything that I'm saying. Oh my goodness, is this gonna be a regular thing? He's like weirdly fascinated with my popping out belly button. Anyway, this is Christian, my husband, who is here to balance me and support me and is weird and funny and makes our videos more entertaining.
Dude, you're shooting. Let's go, man. I'm listening.
Oh my goodness. Anyway.
I'm here to support.
So, on this channel, we talk about our family's lifestyle, and you get to see us being a little weird. And
dude, you're the only one being weird, not me.
Our lifestyle of just being crunchy, natural, holistic kind of thing, of course, with a focus and center on Jesus. And recently, since we are expecting baby number 2, we've also been talking a lot about pregnancy and all the things that go along with that. So today we are going to be talking about advice for a labor partner and kind of like as a couple going into the whole labor process together, especially if it's your first time. And before we forget, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And it's really not for our own validation, but just so that we know, like, hey, this is something that you're actually interested in watching. If we need to change up our content to make it more applicable to you. So just to give a little background on our first pregnancy and labor, we went to an amazing midwife at a birth center. A home birth would have been awesome, but it just really didn't feel like the best thing for us. And it was a totally natural.
I'm listening.
Really
Totally natural. Totally natural.
Totally natural birth. I think it lasted like 14 hours total.
Wow, that's
from
a
like
long time.
4 in the morning with my first contraction, and then she popped out at like a little after 7 p.m. So,
Wow, I don't remember that.
okay.
Just kidding, I'm traumatized. In a good way.
Don't remember the birth of your child. So we are currently in the 3rd trimester, expecting our 2nd baby. And
You're in the 3rd trimester already?
And so we were just kind of reflecting on our upcoming labor again, and hopefully some of this will be beneficial for you as well, especially if you're going through this for the first time, or maybe if a previous time just really wasn't what you would have hoped for, and maybe you're wanting to do something a little different. And actually, I should say before we get started that we are coming from a perspective of being in a birth center with a natural birth. Probably if you went to a hospital and got an epidural or a C-section, your experience would be very different, but hopefully what we're going to talk about is still going to be applicable to you. We are definitely both very big fans of natural home births and birth center births, and we're also just going to be talking about it from the perspective of like a husband and wife. And I recognize, there's going to be lots of different labor partners. It might be your mom, your sister, your best friend, your boyfriend, your whoever, maybe a really helpful nurse. So that's just going to be the words that we use: dad, mom, heteronormative stuff, but that's just what we're going to go with. So Christian is going to be sharing his advice and suggestions and kind of background as my labor partner. But first, I did just want to say, as kind of the mom, I think it's really helpful to think about kind of like how you want to be talked to or treated, in however you prefer to be handled, I guess you could say, in difficult situations, and communicate that ahead of time, because maybe your partner doesn't know, maybe they do need a little advanced direction or something. So I think having like open communication ahead of time is really important, just because when you're in that moment, maybe you're not going to be communicating as your best self. And that was something that we did sit down and talked about, I told him things like, I really only want to hear like positive things, like you're doing great and like keep going and stuff like that. Like I didn't want to hear any like, oh, you're fine, it's all good, like suck it up or something like that. Not that he would necessarily say that, but I just wanted to say, like, for the record, only tell me positive, happy, uplifting things, because I think that's the only thing I really have the headspace for hearing. And then maybe just being open to not really knowing, especially if it's your first time. Like, I really didn't know how labor was going to go, and it really didn't go exactly as I thought it would go. And so certain things like I remember I brought a bag of chocolates because I thought like, oh, maybe it'll like distract me from the pain if I want to like eat some chocolates or something that might like help or something. I don't know what I was thinking, but I completely even forgot that I had them. So
I would have ate it if I remembered.
So like just being open to things changing. Like maybe you think that you want a nice massage while you're in earlier labor, and then maybe you get there and you just really don't want to be touched at all. So yeah, I think trying to find a good balance between communicating ahead of time, but also just the possibility that things are changing. And if things do change, I know it's tough because you're not feeling your best, and a lot of people will get cranky or irritable or just impatient or something. But I think being as kind and respectful and patient as possible with communicating what you need at the time can really go a long way. I feel like I've just heard horror stories of like pregnant women yelling things to their husbands or partners in labor that they would never say on any other day. So yeah, being kind. Those are my respectful suggestions. So my first question for you is, what can a labor partner do who is kind of like planning for this labor to happen and wanting to get in the right frame of mind and headspace and kind of prepare as much as possible? What can they do to prepare?
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just the guy loving a girl standing in front of him. And as a partner and listening to testimonials of other women who've delivered in a hospital setting versus at your home or at a birthing center, to prepare, number one, don't go to a hospital, because like giving birth is not
unless it's an emergency.
Unless it's emergency. And I'm not just saying that just to say that to be arrogant or whatnot. I'm being real. It's like, I don't know much about giving birth, but I sit around and I support my wife. And for all you dudes out there who actually care about your wife, you should listen to what other women say about giving birth. And none of them, like, the only thing that most testimonials they know is just giving birth. And I think giving birth at a hospital. So you're asking me, how could you prepare? Going to a birthing center that sets the tone right, that sets the mood right, and then everything else will follow, because you can't do that as a partner in a hospital.
I feel like it definitely was a really big bonding experience to go through natural labor, because like I really needed you and you had to take a really active role in my labor.
Well, the reason why I mentioned that is because in a hospital you can't do nothing. But so the best way to support
the midwife's approach, I think, is very like hands-on. Ours especially was very much like, both of you are gonna like go sit in the shower together and like, and feel the warm water on your back, and that's gonna help you feel better. And he like stood with me in the shower, and like we're gonna go for a walk together.
I had shorts on, by the way.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
I was imagining something else.
That sounds really weird. That was very G-rated. But you're gonna go for a walk together, or like, it was just very.
No, we had everything from the music to the to just the mood lighting. It just set the tone right, because the testimonials of other women. You go to a hospital, the lights, the people moving, anything. It's like a song. When you know a song is on beat and something goes and it's not on the beat, you just know it. And the body has like a natural tendency, that's from what I've heard from them, and it just distracts them. That's why they're in labor for the longest time.
So I think what I'm hearing you say is for the labor partner to try to be as like hands-on as possible. or like as
Yeah, I
supportive
mean,
and
what
present.
basically what I'm trying to say is I keep on bringing it back to the hospitals because you can't. I never experienced it like that, and I know you can because from all the guys I've spoken to, they're just the dudes standing in there holding the hand, pumping them up like they're in a basketball team. There's nothing empathetic. There's nothing sympathetic. There's no connection. There's no spiritual connection. Number one, there's no soul connection. Your mind is somewhere else. You're not present in the moment. The only present thing you're thinking of is let's get this job done and pop it out. There's no feeling. It's like telling a wife, hey man, like you kiss her for the first time on the altar after you both say I do, and you just think it's like another day in the park because you kissed her a million times before that. Yeah, that's the difference for me. Like, oh, this is not another day. This is the day your child is born. This is something beyond science. This is something miraculous. Women can make human beings. You know that basketball player Shaquille O'Neal? That dude is 7'2" or something, 7 foot. Came out of a woman.
Thankfully not that size.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, women, you gotta take care of them.
I think I have heard, I mean, obviously we don't have any experience of being in the hospital, but I think I have heard from people, like, when they say what to pack in the hospital bag and everything, they say, like, make sure you bring some, like, movies or your iPad for your partner because they're just going to be sitting there for a while or something like that. Yeah. That's what I've heard.
All right.
Somebody leave it something in the comments if you were actually able to be, like, very present and hands-on in the hospital. So
and you know what, to be honest, in fairness to, like, all the dudes or whoever had kids in the hospital or whatnot, I'm not bashing on you guys. I'm just saying that I myself wanted that before because that's all I knew. I was born in Pasadena. Dina represent. I love my city. I love where I'm from. And I wanted my child to be born there too. You know, that's a little male ego pride thing. But to be honest, everything changed when you want just the best for your family. And learning and researching and understanding and listening to other women give you tips and people who've been through it. It's like listening to a pro player who's been through it, and I'm a rookie in the game, and I'm just like, wow, okay, well, I thank you for the tip. So the best partner that you could be to prepare is not to give birth in a hospital. And I'm sorry if I'm biased that way and you're a hater, well then, too bad, but unless you have to. Because to be honest, it's like what I said, it's like a song. You gotta be in rhythm, you gotta be in sync, you gotta be connected, you gotta be spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally connected.
Next question is, was there anything that, like, because obviously, I mean, I did this myself on my side, thinking like, oh, I feel like I know kind of how labor's gonna go based on like the stories that I've heard and books that I've read and stuff. And there were certain things that were just not what I was expecting. So was there anything that came up that was just completely unexpected for you, or that you maybe just like didn't feel like you had prepared for, or things just went a completely different way?
Yeah, everything. Everything. You gotta let go, let God. She and I built our relationship on Christ as the center of our relationship. So when you surrender, like in life, you just gotta trust. But of course, did I have a plan? Yeah, I had a plan. Everybody has a plan, right? You have a plan. Like, okay, it's gonna go like this. It's gonna go like this. So prepare for the best, hope for the worst. I mean, no, what is it? Prepare, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So I know I get that messed up all the time, but like what I was saying, yeah, you can, when you're in there, a lot of the things turn out like in the way you think it would be, but some of the things didn't turn out the way you thought it would be. But actually, I could only imagine what was in there because I just looked at the room. So, but I've never been in one. So when the pressure comes in and you hear your wife, I want to say struggling, but going through the emotion of like this beautiful event, this beautiful occasion, like your child's being born. The enemy, the devil, to me, it just tries to play these thoughts in your mind that something might not go right. And this one, it was just all my responsibility. So did anything go my way? Well, it's just my thoughts. But our midwife, our birthing center, and all their assistants, everything to me was perfect.
Yeah. I think the one thing maybe that both of us weren't quite expecting was like how long it would take. Because I think it was like 9 in the morning when we called our midwife.
Well, I think
and
that's
then
what
we were just kind of like, go, go, go. And then it was like,
if I could interject,
a few more hours.
it took that long because that was our first one, so
Yeah.
I could say we got too excited. But, I'm excited dad. I want to see my baby.
But I think that's probably pretty common for like first-time parents.
Yeah, now
like, let's rush to the hospital.
I'm hoping I'm not gonna like chill and wait till like too long, and it's like, whoa, on the way there.
Yeah. So now it's kind of the opposite because people keep telling us that, oh, second babies come so fast. Make sure you get there in time. So it's kind of like funny just switch. But my last question is there anything that you are planning to do differently this time that you didn't do last time?
Yeah, I'm gonna shave my head.
Yes, fun fact, there's a photo that
I'm
went
just
out
kidding.
to my family where his hair was a little longer and he was in the tub with
Okay,
me.
so quick tidbit of information. As you can tell, I'm Asian, I'm Filipino. Some people say we're islanders, which we are, Filipino, whatever, a bunch of the most islands actually in the world. But I thought I had a Jason Momoa look, so I had like,
So his hair was a little longer.
surfer looking, it was all like dyed and all this stuff, and I saw when the pictures came out, man.
Somebody in my family thought that he was the doula.
I know. Yeah, they're like, oh wow, your doula's so pretty,
So
and I'm
sweet.
like,
He was
wow.
a doula in the pool together. I was like, oh, that's my husband.
I was like, wow, I look like a female doula.
But you were my doula. You were a dad doula.
So okay, back to what we were saying. What would I do different? I don't know what I would do different. Like what I said. I didn't say anything actually. But what I was going to say is probably study more or pay more attention to what was in the baby bags. What are they called?
Yeah, in our birth center bag, because we prepped ahead of time and then just kind of forgot. Where
Yeah, so we prepped what was it for our birth center bags, and when time came, I knew half of it, and the rest I was just thinking about her the whole time.
We have another video on that if you do want to check out what was in our birth bag and what we were planning to take with us to the birth center. So check that video out.
I did
next.
videotape our birth, but I'm never gonna show it to anybody. Just
Yes, but he did a wonderful job of getting a really good angle. Anything else you want to do differently?
Nope. Just press the belly button.
I think what I want to do differently is just as the mom is like stress less. Because I feel like I was so like going back to what you said about just let go, let God, and not wanting to control. I just felt like it was the first time I didn't know what to expect, and my natural tendency was to just try to like control as much as possible and anticipate as much as possible.
I think you just do that in life.
Manage
and
and I've been working on that. But I think this time, because God's really been working on me to give up control and everything, but
that's why God had you marry me.
yes, because you are so out of control.
I have no control.
But I just feel like I would rather be more. Excuse me,
I'm just kidding. I just have to do that.
2 toddlers now. Anyway, I would just like to give up that control and to be more at peace and at rest and just kind of let things happen, which I think even like we were talking with our midwife about it, like physiologically, it's really hard, like when you're stressed and you're anxious, your muscles just clench, so it's really hard to like push something out when you're feeling all clenched, and I think that did make a difference in my life. I mean, I think that really affected the speed of my labor, and I think if I had been more relaxed, and I'm anticipating that I will be a little more relaxed and at peace and trusting God, that things will just kind of flow out better.
Yeah.
And
I
the
know, I
muscles
agree.
will be loosened and things
I agree.
like that.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's what I would change differently. That you would just let go, let God, and that's easier said than done. But just be chill. Don't anticipate. Don't try to control. Don't say like, oh, we're gonna be back this time. I hope it's gonna be this. Just chill. I mean, it's really hard. When you say, oh, what do you mean just chill? What do you mean? Like really, you know what? I don't know how to explain that unless you just go through it. And right now I'm just going with the flow.
And it's hard because
but definitely be aware.
Yeah, and it's really one of like the biggest moments of your life. So of course it's natural to want to micromanage, I think. But yeah.
But you got to be present.
Yeah.
You know, instead of trying to do all these things, like I have the same tendency too. So they're trying to, like what Kayla said, just need to chill and let things go. Because if she didn't think about things too much, I mean, who wouldn't? You know, that's her first labor. But now you know, like she got some experience. She could go clutch, go a little Kobe, give her the ball.
Don't know what that means in labor, but okay.
Yeah. You know, Kobe makes the clutch baskets because his nerves are calm under pressure.
Okay, cool.
So, rest in peace, Kobe.
You might hear lots of basketball references.
I'm from LA. That's what we do.
So, thank you very much for joining us in our kind of like pre-labor reflection / advice for you. And please leave a comment below if you have any other advice that you want to share with any first-time parents. We're back to being weird, I guess. So, we're gonna turn the video off, because I don't know what this is. But anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, and we will see you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Like a tribe.
Okay.
On the slide.
We're gonna be done now.
On the line. Right.
I can edit all of this stuff out.
Edit it out. Dare you. Mortal Kombat.
You only have a few more weeks of this. This is like a Morse code button. You know when they're like dee 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 dee.
My wife tries to be funny, but she's not. I'm funny.